Hello. This is my living room TV console and the subject of my next stained glass piece project. Here's what it looks like. Let me show you. Show you the full effect. And here's what I'm thinking. So, I really like the size and the storage that this console has, but it has these cubbies here. And these cubbies are really deep. They go all the way back. And they've just kind of turned into a collection area of my knickknacks. I've tried to style them a couple different ways. I can't seem to do it well. It always either looks cluttered if I fill it up all the way to the back, or it looks sparse if I only have one or two things in here. So, I was sitting on my couch the other day trying to think of my next stained glass project that I want to do, and I came up with what I think is going to be a really good idea. Man, no. One thing that I had in my last apartment before I moved is I used to put LED lights on the tops of these cubbies, and I would wrap them around to the bottom and up behind my TV, and it was just a vibe when watching TV. Do you really have to do that right now? Yeah, so I used to have LED lights, and I kind of want to bring them back. What if I made stained glass panels to go in front of these cubbies, and that way, one, we can hide some of my clutter, and two, stained glass is inherently like translucent. It's kind of meant to play off of light and the sun. So I also thought the panels would be really pretty with the LED lights. I recently went on a trip to visit my parents, and on the plane ride, I mocked up this design. Because here's what I'm thinking. Tell me if you see the vision. Overall, I want to do like a floral motif, and I want to do 3 separate panels, but they're all going to be related. I want them to be like part of the same picture, just 3 separate panels. I do want to be able to remove them if I ever want to get back there, or this is my DVD player. If I ever want to watch a movie, I want to be able to remove it so I can access this. So I don't want one big panel. I want 3 different ones, and I'm thinking this for the middle one. Can you see it? Can you see the vibe? So this is the middle one. It's going to have 3 big flowers, and then I'm thinking having like more viney flowers with leaves and stuff in the direction like away from the center on the 2 ends. I haven't marked those up yet. That's a project for another time. I'm thinking I want to keep the color scheme really simple and minimal. Like, I kind of want to do the flowers in maybe a translucent milky white, and then the background I want to keep clear. That way, when we put the LED lights behind them, no matter what the lights are, they kind of go with the panels. I think it's going to look really good. I think it's going to look really cool. And of course, I'm going to take you along with me, so you'll also see how it turns out. Don't mind my messy desk. I'm a busy girl and messes happen, okay? And I can't keep everything clean. I have finished cutting out the rose piece for the TV console, and we've already run into our first problem that we need to fix. So let me show you. Okay, so as you can see, I have our pieces cut out, and I've just put them on top of the big template that we keep intact. I noticed there were a couple that I don't think I'm going to be able to do with the skills and the tools that I have. So let me just grab them. These 4 pieces are going to be our problems. Now, I feel like you can do pretty much any shape you want, but either way, we're going to save myself a little bit of a headache, and we're going to go ahead and fix this. The nice thing about the stained glass process is that each step, almost everything is fixable. So let me show you how to fix pattern pieces that are too difficult. Let's start with number 57. Okay? And it's going to be right here. I'm not going to be able to fit my grinder into this point. I'm also not going to be able to get this nice little point. All we're going to do is we're going to split this into 2 pieces. And I'm going to split it such that this corner piece such that this inside point piece is no longer an inside point. I'm going to try to keep the pattern to look like a flower. So this is a petal. So we want it to continue to look like a petal. I'm wondering, something like that. And I think that looks pretty good. That looks good enough. So 57 is a mirror image of 6. So I'm just going to try to emulate the same shape on this guy. Okay. Not exact, but close enough. And then we're going to figure out how to fix these two pieces. So with 16 and 47, the issue is going to be right here with this internal point. So we need to make a line that connects. What's nice about splitting this one up is, you see this has 3 internal curves, and so I'm thinking we can split it up to make this cut easier as well, which is just a nice little happy accident. There. Honestly, that looks pretty good. So I'm going to try to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to go ahead and start numbering these. 63. we are finally on the grinding phase. Here are some pieces that I have ready for grinding. Here are the pieces that I've already done, and things are looking good. This is honestly some of the most exciting parts, is starting to see it all together. We can actually see how the colors look in the shapes and how the colors look together and how the pieces fit together. I don't know, it's exciting. I wanted to just mention a little bit about what I'm doing here. So I think the last project that I made, I cut the pattern pieces out of this vinyl sticker paper. You know, like the kind of stuff that you can put in a Cricut. But here's the thing, I don't have a Cricut, so I had to cut all of those pieces out by hand, and I had to figure out a way to transfer the pattern onto that material. So it was a lot of work prepping that pattern. And so for this piece, I decided I'm just going to print everything out on regular printer paper. But what that means for grinding is you don't want to put a piece with just printer paper in the grinder, because it's going to soak up a bunch of water, it's going to get torn up, it's going to be a nasty mess. So I wanted to quickly show you how I am prepping the pieces that we've already cut out so that we can grind them. You know, one of these days I'm going to figure out a more aesthetic setup. I know it doesn't look very pretty. I just have old towels that I put down underneath my grinder. My grinder's right here to protect. Well, I'm on my floor right now, but even if I put it on my desk, I like to just protect the surface that I'm grinding on, because it can get messy. Anyways, so here's how you prep a piece when you use this more like printer paper for patterns. So first, here's our piece. As you can see, it's cut out, but there's some bits we need to grind off, like that point can be better, and there's some edges. So what I do is I take a Sharpie, and we're going to color around the edges of our pattern. I like to color in all the way to the edge of the glass, just to make sure that we get everything covered, such that when we take off the pattern piece, we now have this outlined shape. We know we want to grind off all of those Sharpie marks. We want to go away. Now, just to keep track of what piece this is, I do like to go back in and write the pattern piece number just right on here, like that. And yeah, we're ready to grind. There's a couple pros and cons to this method. Unfortunately, Sharpie is water soluble, so Sharpie does come off if you put it in water too long. So if you're not efficient with your grinding, this can be kind of an annoying method, which is why you see other stained glass artists use that vinyl sticker paper. I just haven't found a very good method of cutting out patterns, especially patterns as intricate as the one we've got going on. Like, it would have been so much work to figure out how to transfer this pattern onto a big roll of vinyl sticker paper and cut everything out by hand. But that does mean that grinding is a little bit more tricky with this way, but at the same time, a lot of stained glass artists do it this way too, so there's nothing wrong with it. Yeah, I just wanted to mention, like, you don't need a Cricut or any fancy machines to do stained glass. You can literally just use a Sharpie and normal printer paper. And that's what I'm doing here. Copper foil looks like this. It's this metal tape that it is coated with copper on one side, and then on the back it has various different colors. Right now I'm using the foil that has a black backing because I do plan to patina this black, but you can get copper backing, you can get silver backing. I actually think that those are the three colors that you can get. But the idea is to match whatever color that you're going to keep your solder. So the purpose of it is the copper part, the copper side, that's what the solder sticks to and adheres to. So we need to go around all of the edges of our glass pieces to give, yeah, somewhere where the solder can stick to, and that is going to be what holds the entire art piece together. So how it works is you take your glass piece that we have cut and ground, and first thing we need to do is we need to clean it. So I'm using this old bottle of nail polish remover that I had, but isopropyl alcohol works. Any sort of, alcohol wipe that will get all the dust and oils and stuff off. This is also where I clean off our Sharpie marks, and then I'll go around really well along the edges because we want to make sure those edges are really clean in order for our foil to stick. Take our foil, and honestly it works like a big long sticker, so you just peel it away from the backing, and then the back part is sticky. So then you will just kind of place it and stick it along the edge of each piece. And as you go, you want to make sure that there's an equal amount of overhang on each side of your glass piece. This is really what's going to help make your solder lines look nice. I highly recommend go slow, and the nice part is you can check along the way, so if you get to a point and you realize your foil is off a little bit, you can just undo it, unstick it, and stick it back on the correct way. It's much easier to fix it now than it is in the next few steps. Just fix it as you go. But how you do it is you're going to want to start at a corner. That's going to hide the connection point because you'll always have a little bit of overlap where the two ends of your foils meet. And it makes it look cleaner if it's at a corner. So stick it at a corner and wrap it all the way around. Go nice and slow. And then the next step is to take something ideally like round and thin and smooth out the copper foil. You're going to want to try to get all of the lumps and bumps out. Again, the smoother that you get it, the nicer it looks, the more professional and the nicer your solder lines are going to look. But you can use anything. Popsicle stick works really well. For this project, I'm just using a Sharpie. That also works just fine. Alright. Now I'm going to look for any really crinkly spots. Yeah, like see right there, and I'm just going to go over that a few times. If you can see, you'll have these really spiky corners. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our Sharpie and just press those down. Okay, that's probably enough tape. Moment of truth. Okay, so it's tight. She fits good lengthwise. Like, she covers the whole cubby length, but the height is a little tight. So much so, I don't think I'm gonna be able to put very much, if any, solder along the top and bottom. But I don't know how I'm gonna fix that. So I might just go for it. I might adjust some of the pieces, see if I can squish it a little bit. But yeah, I think the problem is it's bending, so I'm having a really hard time knowing if it fits because it fits or if it fits only because it's bending. We'll see. If you've never seen someone clean a grinder before, it's actually so satisfying. So I have this tool that I use. I think it's actually like a cheese cutter. And what you want to do is just scrape out all of your glass residue. And I put it on a paper towel. You do not want this stuff to go down your drain because that could cause a lot of problems. And it's easier to do it if it's a little wet, because then it kind of comes off as this like mud and putty. I'm just gonna throw this in the trash, get rid of the water, wipe things down, and we're ready to put this back into storage. Okay. Boy. Okay. All right. It's soldering time. We have a little bit of a weird setup going on right now. So the table that I use to solder on is plastic, and I like to have a protective layer on top of it because I don't want to melt the plastic with my soldering iron or hot solder. So usually I use cookie sheets, but I didn't have one big enough. So I was trying to figure out a solution, and I have these like cookie cooling racks that I thought would be a good option because they are big enough. And then I covered them in tin foil, but when I laid down the piece, I couldn't get it to lie flat. And whatever shape you solder this into, it'll take the shape. So I didn't want there to be a bump in the middle where the two drying racks met. So the next biggest thing that I had that I could use was a cutting board, which is what this layer is. And then again, I didn't want to get like flux or solder on it, so I covered it in tin foil. It's not perfect. There's still some excess over the edge that I'm planning to, when I solder those areas, just slide it over. Slide it back. Like, it's not the most ideal setup, but this is what we're going with. And I don't know, it's time. Let's just get to soldering. Okay, we are halfway, and it's looking good. Let me show you. Okay, so now I'm just gonna flip it over and take the masking tape off and continue on the front side. Hello. After all that, we are back where we started, back at the TV console. And I have our finished piece. It looks so good. It turned out honestly better than I was expecting. I'm really happy with our glass choices and the textures and the colors. I think it looks really good. But now we got to see it in the TV console. You know, the whole point is it's supposed to fit in here. Listen, okay, I got to level with you. It has been probably 2 weeks since I finished this, and I've already seen it installed, and I've already tested it, and spoiler alert, it looks so good. It looks so good. But let me show you, okay? You haven't seen it yet. But since it's been a few weeks, I can give you my honest thoughts and opinions, and it's been marinating in my house. Okay, so what we've got going on here is I have my LED strip lights, because if you remember, I want to put these in all three cubbies. Let me show you what it looks like. So here it is. So there she is in all her glory. Doesn't it look so good? You can't tell me that doesn't look good, because that looks, even without any lights behind it, I love it. It looks so much cleaner. It looks cute. It looks just polished and nice, and if I do say myself, kind of expensive, huh? But let's talk about fit. So I was worried it was going to be too tight, and I'm not going to lie to you, it was pretty tight to put it in the first time that I did. But it's actually the perfect size, because I didn't have a plan for how to install it. I didn't know if we would need to put little hooks in here, or if I would need to somehow like Velcro it. in place. I don't know. I didn't have a plan. And so the fact that it's perfect size, and honestly, the fact that it's a little big, works in our favor because it just slides right in and it's holding just by friction. And I think it looks great. I think it looks great without the lights on, but do you want to see it? See it with the lights? You want to see? Ah! It looks so cool. Okay, let me get out of the way so you can see the full effect. I mean, you see the vision now, right? This is just white light. But we can change it to any color we want. We could do blue, which looks pretty sick. We could do red, which is kind of spicy, but it looks good. We could do purple, and I love the purple. I think the purple is my favorite. There's a darker purple and a lighter purple. I kind of like this one better. Could do like an orangey color, and like, tell me this wouldn't be cool with like Halloween decorations up here, and now we have like a brownie color. I see it. I love it. I'm in love. This is such a good project. That's all I have for you. I think thank you for coming along on this journey. I hope this shows like stained glass is so underrated, and that I have so many ideas of things that we can do to like elevate not only my home but for future collections that I can sell on Etsy. And I don't know, I'm really happy with how this turned out. This is so exciting. Stay tuned. In future videos, we'll be doing the other cubbies. And thanks for bearing with me. After that shop launch video, I kind of wanted to do more of a personal project for me. And I'm really happy I took the time to do it. Also, this is a good test run for if in the future I ever want to expand the business to do more custom work and custom installations. Dude, this looks so good. This looks so good. But that's all I have for you today. If you like the video, feel free to like and subscribe. There'll be more videos coming out, more about small business stuff, more about stained glass projects, more about DIYs, lots of ideas, lots of stuff to come. We're just getting started. So yeah, hope you enjoy, and I will see you in the next video.